Have you ever wondered how to make the most of your programming skills without waiting for results? It can be frustrating to deal with delays, especially when you're trying to optimize your code. If that sounds like you, stick around because today we're diving into how to use futures in C++ without waiting. I completely understand how annoying it is when you're trying to run calculations and your code forces you to wait for each result. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face the same challenge when working with asynchronous programming. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, "How can I use the result of a future without waiting for it?" They want to perform lengthy calculations without having to wait for each future to complete before moving on to the next. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what's the issue here? When you call the get method on a future, it blocks the thread until the result is ready. This means if you have multiple futures, you end up waiting for each one to finish before you can proceed. But there are ways to work around this limitation. And don't go anywhere. I have a great solution that will help you maximize your efficiency with futures. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. To use the result of a future without waiting for it, the user can utilize a technique called future chaining. This allows the user to start processing the results of futures as they become available. First, the user should create a function that will handle the lengthy calculation. This function will take the result of the future as an argument. Next, the user can modify the loop that processes the futures. Instead of calling getImmediately, they can store the futures in a separate vector and process them as they complete. Finally, the user should ensure that the main function waits for all asynchronous tasks to complete before exiting. This can be done by using a synchronization mechanism like a barrier, or simply waiting for all futures to finish. Fun fact: the concept of futures in programming is similar to ordering food at a restaurant. You place your order and then wait for it to be prepared while you enjoy your time. You don't have to stand by the kitchen the whole time. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One alternative approach is to use a map and reduce implementation. This allows you to start adding results to an accumulator as each future completes, rather than waiting for all of them to finish. A library like RxCpp can help with this, as it simplifies the process of handling asynchronous operations. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach suggested by a user involves creating new futures for the calculated values. You can use a loop to iterate over the original futures, and for each one, create a new future that calls your lengthy calculation. This way, you can process multiple calculations simultaneously without waiting for each one to finish before starting the next. Here's a pro tip: always handle exceptions when working with futures. This ensures that if something goes wrong, your program can handle it gracefully without crashing. And there you have it. You can now use futures without waiting for each result, making your code more efficient. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more programming tips, and don't forget to check out our next video for more advanced techniques.